Hey folks, how's it going? Today my Coyote CK2610 is due for its 50-hour service, so I'm going to take you along and show you what I'm going to do for that. It calls for a oil change, an oil filter replacement, a hydraulic filter, an HST filter, and calls for a few other things to check, like the clutch pedal, brake pedal, play, the belts, the air cleaner, the air filter, and some stuff like that. And plus it's due for a greasing too, so I'm going to do that. But here I'll show you the filters that I've got to use. So these are all Coyote filters I got from my Coyote dealer. That's the oil filter, the part number. This is the hydraulic filter and the HST filter. And it doesn't call for an air filter change replacement at this point at 50 hours, but I went ahead and bought the air filter too, and I may or may not change that. I may just hold off and do that later. And the oil that I'm going to be using is the Shell Rotella 15W40. That's what the manual calls for. So I bought 2 gallons because it takes 1.58 gallons according to the manual. So the first thing I want to do is take the oil filter off. It's over on the right side. There's the oil filter right here. So I'm going to take that off, and that should help the oil pan drain once I take the plugs out of the drain, which is right underneath there. So let me get to that. There we go. Go ahead and get the other one ready. There's the new filter. I'm gonna get just a little bit on my finger, rub on the seal. There we go. That'll do it. I'm gonna put the new one on, but I'm not gonna tighten it yet because I'm gonna leave it cracked, and hopefully that'll help get the oil drain out of the pan quicker. There, I'm gonna back it off a little bit. Now I'll go underneath and take off the drain plugs. All right. So now I'll climb under here and find the drain plugs. Figure out what size they are. I'm not sure yet. A little tough to get to with the backhoe subframe. But if you can see, these are the oil pans, or two sides of the oil pan, here and here. There's a plug, and here's a plug. I can't see, I'm looking through the camera. So we'll take those off, figure out what size nut that is, or bolt that is, and take those off. All right, so I'm only gonna be able to do one side at a time because, well, my bucket might get both of them. If it'll catch both of them, I'm gonna take both of them off. But it looks like it's a 17 millimeter size nut, so I'll try that. Yeah. All right. Oh, baby. I think I'm gonna be able to get to both of them. Looks like I should be able to. Alright, so I'll go ahead and take the other one off too. Speed this process up. If I can get to it without getting oil all over me. I probably should have done the far side first, huh? That would have made sense. This is gonna go well. lights are right in the way. Maybe I'll just wait. I'm just gonna wait. Let this little drain out. All right, there we go. Good deal, good deal. That's progress. So we'll let that do its thing. Hopefully I didn't knock the GoPro out of position here. All right, so now that that's all drained, I'll go ahead and tighten the filter back up. Put the plugs back on. So my GoPro died, but I just put this on hand tight, and I'll check it and make sure that it's tight enough. If it's not, I'll put a wrench on it and turn it a little bit, but I think hand tight will be fine. So I got that. I got the oil drain down there. It's done draining. Filters tightened back up. So now I'm gonna put the plugs back in, and then we'll refill it. Hello, don't mind me. I'm just cleaning drain plugs. So I'm gonna wipe this off. Wipe both of them off. They looked like they were in good shape. They're brand new. They ought to be in good shape. So those are cleaned off, and now I'll screw those back on. There we go. Come on, get started. There we go. There's one. Oh, if I can reach the other. This out of the way. Oh, don't spill it, please don't spill it. I'll put a wrench on that and secure it. There we go. All right, so here's the oil fill red cap right next to the oil filter. I've got all the oil drained out of it. I'm gonna go ahead and crank it up, make sure all the oil's drained out of it. Kidding, 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 kidding. Don't do that. I'm just kidding. So I'm gonna take the red cap off here and try to put some oil in. And once again, I'm using this Shell Rotella 15W40 heavy duty diesel engine oil. And it takes 1.58 gallons, or about 6.5 quarts. See if I can do this one hand without spilling it. Yeah, there we go. You don't need to watch that the whole time. So I'm gonna put 1.5 gallons in it, and I'm gonna check it and make sure it's full. All right, so we got 1 gallon in, all empty. And now I'll do the about 1/2 gallon, just a little bit more. It's 1.58, so I'll do 1.5 gallons, check the level, and then probably top it off with the rest, just to make sure we're at the right level. So I cleaned the dipstick off camera because I couldn't do it with 2 hands, or 1 hand. And maybe you can see. So it looks like we're full. I'll probably run it in just a minute and check it again after it gets time to run through the system and see if we need to top it off at all. I'll go ahead and mark the filter so I'll know when I did it. 6122, and with the hours 49.9. Should just say 50, but 49.9 hours. Well, I can read it. That's really all that matters. There, that'll work. All right, so now I'm going to move on to the hydraulic filter. I went ahead and wrote on the new one, so it would be easier to get to. It's a little tough to get to on this tractor on the driver's side, right behind the rear wheel. I don't know, the sun's shining on my phone. I can't see if the camera's viewing it or not. Hopefully you can see it right here. So I've already got a wrench on it. I just broke it loose just to see how hard it's going to be to break loose, and it broke loose fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to take it off quickly and get it replaced with the other one so not too much fluid leaks out. Try to do this with 1 hand or not. Try and see. Maybe not. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna try to do this quickly. Tell you what, this one was an absolute bear to get off. I mean, it was just terrible. That was brutal. Hopefully that's good enough. I might just put one little turn on it. I might regret this when I go to take it off again. All right, so I got all the filters changed, got the oil put back in. I did not replace the hydraulic fluid. I checked it and the level is fine right now, but I'm probably gonna need to top it off after I crank it up and let it warm up a minute. I'm pretty sure it's gonna need some more hydraulic fluid after changing these filters. Well, so I got everything changed and I cranked it up just to see, make sure everything was going okay. And so then I learned a piece of advice that I'll pass on to you. When you're changing your HST filter, the one that's over on the left-hand side, be sure this O-ring comes off with it. I put the new filter back on, didn't realize this was still on the tractor. I cranked it up and started using the hydraulics, and stuff started spewing everywhere. I mean, it made a mess. You can see I've moved it since then. It was right here, but you can see all the hydraulic fluid I lost. I mean, it was spewing everywhere. And I thought, did they give me the wrong filter or what's going on? So I went to get the old filter and take a look at it again, and I realized this was still on there. So in effect, there were two of them on there, and it wasn't creating a seal, and stuff went everywhere. So word to the wise, when you take yours off, be sure this O-ring comes off with it. Let's see, what do I want to do now? I need to get the grease gun out and grease all the fittings, especially since I got the backhoe on, because I haven't, well, I did grease it right when I put the backhoe on, but I haven't greased it since after I've used it a little bit. So it's time. So I'll go ahead and do that too. It's a good time to do it while it's all together. except I'm out of grease. All right, so I got all the fittings greased, all the ones that I could find. I'm sure I missed some. I'm gonna have to go back and check the manual and see if I can find any other ones that I missed. I feel like there's some back here somewhere, but I can't find any. So I'm gonna have to check the manual. I think maybe there's something down around the PTO, or you know, or maybe even around the wheels or axles or something. I'm not sure, but I can't see any that stand out. So I'll check the manual and see if there's anything that I missed. Let me know if any of you other CK owners have a problem getting a grease fitting under here. This fitting right here, I have the hardest time getting grease in there. I don't know if I'm getting grease in it or not. Sometimes I can get a couple pumps in and like I did today, but before, I'm not even sure if I ever was able to get any in before. So I have a heck of a time getting the grease into that Zert. So let me know if you guys have problems with it. So now I'm gonna check the the air filter. There's 3 clips. There's one just over here on this side. If I can get this off with one hand. There we go. So yeah, it's probably a little dirty, but I'm just gonna clean it out and let it last for another few hours before I'm ready to replace it. It doesn't call to be replaced, it just needs to be cleaned out. So I'm gonna do that and give it a few more hours. So all I did was blow it off from the inside out and just kind of wipe it down. And I'm gonna wipe down the inside. Make sure there's no debris or anything that shouldn't be in here. There we go. Clean this out too. I just made a little note on there too to remind me that I checked it at 50, so it tells me that it wasn't replaced, so then I'll know to replace it next time I have it open. So while I'm at it, I'm going to pull this screen off and you know, just take a look at it, clean out from behind it. Of course, I'm going to have to raise the loader to do that probably. So I have the loader raised and I have the lock lever locked in place, and I know that that's not the safest thing to do at all. I need some angle iron to put in here to hold that up. I don't have it right now, so I'm just being extra careful, paying attention and not trying to mess around under here, forgetting that the loader is up. So I'm just going to quickly put this in place. It's not the safest thing in the world, so don't recommend doing it that way, but it's life, I guess. So you want to clean that out pretty often. I've learned that when you're bush hogging, that screen and the radiator gets filled up really fast with grass. So you want to be sure and keep that clean. Find a bolt here. There we go. Oops, wrong way. There we go. So all I did was just take an air blower to the screen also and blow that off. I cleaned out the air filter pretty well. Checked the battery cables while I was underneath there. Everything seemed nice and tight, the way it should be. No leaks around the oil filter. So I think we're all good here. I definitely need to get a pressure washer and spray this thing down. It's all filthy. I think the fluid level is pretty good. I could stand to put a little bit more coolant in there, but for now I think it'll be okay. So let's see, what's next? I need to grease, If I didn't mention, I filled the hydraulic fluid. It took about 3 or 4 gallons probably after my little mishap. But I've checked it, and right now it's fine. I'm gonna need to let it run a little bit, and I'll check it again. And then, you know, I may have to top it off, but I think, you know, I think I got it pretty close. And luckily my lugs are all painted with the marks on them. So I just keep a track on those, make sure they're in good shape. These come loose pretty often, really. So I keep a check on those. You know, all my lugs, I keep a watch on those. The little paint marks, they help a lot, but also, you know, put a wrench on just to make sure. But like I said, see, look here, look at that, that's loose. You really gotta check on those things often, man, because they work loose all the time. I need to put some Loctite on them or something to keep that from happening. But it's a good thing I was checking on that. So we definitely need to get these tightened back up. Here we go. Check this one. So off camera, I'm gonna go over all of them just to make sure. I don't need to make you all watch every bolt check here. So I think that'll about do it for the all I'm gonna do for the service. I do need to change the air filter, the fuel filter, but it's not due right now, and so I think I'm just gonna save it for later. It definitely needs a bath, but I've got some bush hogging to do and some other dirt work I want to do out of our new property, so might as well take care of that before I wash it, because this is going to get filthy again this week. So that'll be my plan. Next time you see this thing, hopefully we'll be digging dirt or cutting grass or something. So we're going to be getting dirty one way or another this week, hopefully, as long as it doesn't rain and as long as it doesn't get to be 100 degrees. Anyway, if you enjoyed this 50-hour service, if you got anything out of it, or if you were just entertained, you know, let me know. Drop a comment, like and subscribe if you feel like it. If not, just keep watching. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks.